Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Hey there, how are you? Thank you for joining me once again to another exciting episode of Toys in My Closet presented by Misala Productions. Now, of course, I'm your host, Hebot, and I'm so grateful for you guys to tuning in and joining me on another, awesome and exciting figure or toy, if you will, unboxing. Well, not really unboxing, but kind of review, a little bit rundown of my Club Grayskull, aka originally known as Club Filmation, subscription that I had this year. So far, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna basically show you guys what I've gotten so far as of this point for this year, and then compare it to the actual toy line from the original toy line that was revised and redone, which was called the Masters of the Universe Classic Collection. I hope you guys like it and enjoy it. I will try to be as clear and informative as possible to give you the differences and the rundowns of each figure. Uh, but first, I want to take a couple of minutes to give a couple of special shout outs for some people that, I've had the privilege and the honor to actually get to know and become good friends with in the community that follow me, that always support my videos, whether it's one or two. It really doesn't matter. What matters is that they always been truthful and always been there for you. For me, giving me support on my channel. I don't do this to try to make money. I do this because I love it, and I enjoy it. Thank you to my assistant cameraman, which is my son. Shout outs to him. And first and foremost, also, I want to give a shout out to Kenny Thomas. Kenny Thomas, you've been a great friend. You've been a great supporter. I can't stress enough how grateful I am for having somebody like you being a member and a subscriber of my channel. You've a really kind soul, and I really appreciate everything you've done for me and what you continue to do for me, whether it's on Twitter and on YouTube. It means a lot to me. You've been there for me since day one, and I appreciate it. And I know you've been there for a lot of people, almost everybody in the community, which may not even recognize or give you that thanks. But I think it's been long overdue, and I'm giving you the thanks because I know you deserve it. You're a good pal, and like I said, a good friend. And I'll continue to follow you as well because you do good content, and and you're very informative and insightful in your own style, in your own way. And hopefully someday we can join. You can join me in a podcast, or in a video, or maybe even in my X Body and Let's Talk pod chat segment, so I can interview you and get to know you a little bit more personal. I would also I'd like to give another shout out to NWO Prime, another wonderful human being, another great person. He's a big fan. You're always been supportive as well, Prime. You're a good guy. I can't stress enough how grateful I am to have someone like you also follow my channel. You've been fantastic. You've always been there since day one. And I don't think I've ever gave you back that same gesture. Not because I haven't wanted to. It's hard to always keep a balance between everybody that you associate with and know, and try to be fair and bring everybody up. But thank you so much for being such a great supporter. You deserve more subscribers yourself, even though you're pretty simplistic, but you do it from the heart. And I hope you enjoy what I'm going to do today, because I know you're into like collectibles and pop culture, like Transformers and stuff like that. So thanks again, Prime. You know, uh, Same with you. I hope we can, mesh up one day and I can interview you, or you join me in a podcast so we can get to know you at a little more personal level as well. Thank you so much for being a good friend and supporter. And, of course, you can check me out at intromediagaming.com, which is a gaming group with my great friend and family, Mr. 100, and, great guys like Cyclonus and Miss DeLeon. And of course, my Facebook group with my boy and family, New Legal Felon. Shout out to you, big dog. You know who you are. I got Israel Rules over there, and Sean Rollins, Myra Giuseppe, Chris Dove. All these great guys. David Bond. Really nice guys. They may not be on the YouTube scene or do this type of stuff, but I'm their representative. I'm their voice. I am World of Xbox, and I represent them because it's my gaming group as well. They're really good guys, and they support all these guys out here on YouTube doing all types of different things, whether we know about it or not. And it's a shame that we don't give them the recognition that they deserve. And then, of course, last but obviously not least, Shout outs to my boy Sega Forever, aka Xbox All In, my boy E-Rock 8150, my boy J Long 908, Master Chief, Tuck Master, my boy oh my God, Sir Merkham. I'm so sorry, Merk. You know, he's a great friend of mine as well. Wonderful person. God bless your soul. I hope you're feeling better every day. And I got the other people like Kaleidoscope and Wolf and Ghost Rider, which I don't always get to talk to, but they know what it is. They know that we boys, and it's always good to be around them. Tuck Master, Big Kahuna, big shout outs to them. Haven't seen them on the scene for a while. I miss you guys. I hope you do something soon. I hope to hear from you guys soon. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna have my assistant pause the video for a brief moment, and then we're gonna segue over and move to the side, and I'll show you the figures and I'll describe each one by one. So again, this is episode 5 of me Toys in My Closet, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's go. And here we go. We're back, and as you can see, these are the figures I'm going to go over and talk about today on my segment of Toys in My Closet. First, we have Evil Seed over here on the side. Then we have Skeletor. Then we have He-Man. Then we have Beast-Man. And then we have Trap Jaw. This is from the description called Club Grayskull, which originally was going to be called Club Filmation. Now, I'm going to go by and round off each figure, comparing them to their other figures that were created for the regular Masters of the Universe Classics, which is based off the original toy line or vintage toy line from the 1980s. And I'll do one by one the best I can and as thoroughly as I can. So I hope you enjoy. And we'll start this way. Come on. First figure I want to go over, as you see here, is Evil Seed. Now, Evil Seed was a character, to be honest with you. Here's the packaging. I'm going to go over the packaging. Evil Seed, here's the He-Man and the Master Universe cartoon logo with the Snake Mountain from the cartoon and the representation cell or animation cell of Evil Seed. Now, to be honest with you, Evil Seed was never created before in toy form. He was never done. So what happened was, when they did the Master Universe Classics, they created characters that were supposed to be represented based off the vintage toy line with the same type of buck and style. But he, as you see here, here's the Evil Seed from the Filmation. Now, Evil Seed from the Filmation, he, you can see, great detail. Looks just like him. Wonderful coloring. He has the his cloak, if you will, with the hoodie there on the top part. It's kind of hard though, because it's hard PVC, so it's almost like these are the vines that represent his powers, because he's basically like a man made out of vines. His feet, they're movable. This is the first time they ever made the Filmation style based off the cartoon. And he was actually a bonus character, meaning if you subscribe to the subscription, you got him basically for free. It's almost like a way of them saying thank you for you subscribing. And by subscribing, you guaranteeing that that's his weapon, so to speak, coming out of, of his hands. So see there, you put it there, it gives you that illusion. Very nice, simple, just with that green color, which basically guarantees you a figure. You won't miss one at all, and they automatically, send it to you, and you get it, and you don't miss out. Mine looks like it came with a little bit of a droopy eye there, but it's not too bad. I think I could probably fix that, or at least my daughter can. So yeah. They never made them before, so this is the first time I get them. But, well, here's the story with this guy. This is Evil Seed for the Club Masters of the Universe Classic. As you can see, he's more for the adult-like look. I love this style. I love his look. He has the vines coming out of his hands. He has, all these thorns, representing thorns coming out of like tree vines and stuff. And this is all one piece. These figures, he has that wonderful piece and weapon that was actually from Filmation, as a matter of fact. And I think they added it for him because they do things like that, add accessories from the cartoon, the comic, and stuff like that, to make them all feel like they're all part of one, one cohesive collection, even though they're all from different canons. See his face; he has that menacing face. He looks crazy with the vines and the weeds coming out of his head. His ears. Looks very almost alien-like, but he has an awesome look. Fully articulated. He has an ab crunch. He has a waist crunch. Movement. There's about 36 points. Now this figure was created and redesigned for the 2010 He-Man cartoon that came out in Cartoon Network, uh, which they brought him back in that cartoon based off the Filmation because they only did Filmation and then they did a new one in 2010. And he fought Mossman in that episode. And look at his legs and feet. And they never did a figure of him either. So both of these figures, in the last year, I was able to get both of them because they made them together for the first time. And he was like in another, probably like one episode, I think, of Filmation originally. But they're both figures that have never been done before. I prefer the 2000X look because I like, this feels more for the kiddie in me, the kid side of me of Filmation, which I outgrew. This I like because it feels more like an adult badass character from an adult collection. So we'll put him down and we'll go over here, move over to Skeletor, which we have here. And I'm pretty sure anybody that knows anything about, anything about, He-Man, period, you gonna know who Skeletor is. And this is, his box, obviously. Same thing, Snake Mountain in the background, He-Man. And then his cell, this is actually a cell pic of what he looked like in the Filmation cartoon. And this is what they came up with the toy, as you can see. It's very hard to depict animation like cartoon characters in toy form. But as you can see, look, he's very well depicted with his hood over his head. Very nice, very simple look. This is more simplistic, doesn't have as much detail. He brings this sword that was part of the cartoon as well. His staff, which looks incredible, great painting, very accurate to the cartoon style. He has more of a simplistic look. And another thing you'll notice is he has like boots, and they all had like the regular boots, and in the actual cartoon itself. Very simple. This is all soft PVC. Has a nice bright blue, like almost a neon blue. Okay, now when you put them down there, and this is this is the actual toy representation of the vintage toy line. They redid these to make them look more adult-like, more articulated, more like an adult collection. As you see, it's way more detail here in the general area, and his belt, and the color. These are all metallic purple. You see his chest harness there. It's a little bit dusty because it's very hard to clean them in those little small crevices area. He has a sword, power sword, he has that. It comes with the half of the power sword and the regular sword. You're gonna see there, they're fully articulated, and that's his staff based off the original. Very nice. You can see, and then you see it comes to his feet. These other feet. His feet were almost demonic in nature. With the three toes and kind of like It looks almost like feet of a hawk, I would say. There's a little wash on top of like a purplish. And as you can see, this was like it's a little bit harder than the original than the other one, but has a sheen on the sword. Like a nice sheen look with like some glitter inside. And you can see this is his what you call it, his I forget what this is called. It looks almost like it was hairs, like from an animal. His growing piece, if you will, with this looks like has like a leathery look with the sheen and details in it. This is based off the original vintage toy, which I don't have. And then obviously, you know, we go here. We have is the big dog of them all, which I personally never liked this look in the cartoon. The He-Man logo, and then He-Man himself with Castle Grayskull in the background because he's a hero. So they show Castle Grayskull. He's standing on the drawbridge. I never really liked this look because he almost looked kind of feminine. Like I thought he would look kind of gayish, I guess. So I didn't really like the way he looked in the toy line. Because in the cartoon filmation, because in the toy line, which I'm going to show you first, he's very masculine. He has that jawline, all that detail. He almost looks like Arnold, if you will, with his yellow hair. Here's his, like I said, his chest harness with this gold belt or golden orangey belt with his groin piece cloth that looks almost like it was made out of fur, like an animal. Then he has the straps around his boots. There you go. Like I said, that's his vintage look. The sword, very nice. Comes with an axe and then his iconic shield. Then it has a bat in the back. You could take off the sword, for example, just like this, and then just slide it right in, and like a sheath. There you go, and it holds it in place. Wonderful figure, very hard to find because he was one of the first ones that released about 7 years ago. So, it is hard to find him, but there you go. Now here's his representation of it, in Filmation. Now I gotta say, I never thought that I would like a figure based off the representation of the cartoon, but I actually really do. It came out really well. As you notice, his golden belt has no detail. It's more flat. Same thing. Same thing like his growing shorts, if you would. You see, it's all softer look. Even his wrist clamps, or you see the differences, how it is, even in the detail and paint job. Obviously, these have nice articulations though in the hands. Where you can move them, and his face is pretty awesome, as you can see. There you go. See? Nice representation, the side profile, his hair. And then his sheath, though, it's different. It's like it was in the cartoon where it was in a pouch almost. And his boots, as you can see. Yeah, see? Less detail, more round. They move too. You can move that. He has a single joint there and a T joint there. You can pose them. They're fully posable. That's the great part about these figures. Fully posable. And have like these pivots, joint articulation. I don't like the way it looks a lot as far as the side, but in the front it's not too bad. You can't really tell. So I like that. And like I said, it's pretty fair interpretation or representation of him in Filmation is pretty good, pretty close, pretty accurate, except that the hair looks more orangey in the Filmation, which is basically the cell for the cartoon. And then he also came with this piece right here, as a matter of fact, which is supposed to look like a section where you put the sword in to display it. As you can see, there it has the two little ridges, so you can put them in. It's a piece of Grayskull, of Castle Grayskull, and you can put his sword, which is the power sword. And this is the look of the sword for the Filmation, because they had the sword look for the toy, and the vintage toy was very different, as you can see. This is the toy, and this is Filmation. You can just put them both in there to display them. It's supposed to be one side for your sister She-Ra and the other side for him, which I also have the figures. Yeah, very nice though. Very nice little display came with. And then over here we have Beastman. Now Beastman is a figure that, you know, it was one of my favorites. It was a lot of people's favorites. Here you go. This is the his self from, you know, the cartoon. Obviously, he looks more has more girth, but he was always like a slow. You see how it says Beastman there? You know, Filmation, the intro logo, and then Snake Mountain, because he's a villain now. As a little synopsis talking about, based on the successful Mattel toy line, the animated He-Man and the Masters of the Universe debuted in 1983 and immediately delighted young fans with unique storylines and interpretation of characters that until then had existed only in plastic. Okay, now many years later, Mattel pays homage to those thrilling episodic adventures with a collectible line of highly detailed and articulated action figures that are true to their animated counterpart by the power of Grayskull. See? So yeah, so this is another nice box. And but this is This is what he looked like in the vintage storyline. But again, this is a reimagination, or redone, if you will, kind of like you know, when you remaster games, they redid these figures to make them look more high quality, more articulated, way more detailed. As you see, he has fur on his feet and his legs. Well, on his feet, and then on his legs, on his calf. You know, these are the what you call it, the thigh area, I guess. Yeah, and then you know, his cloth is in the groin. You know, he has fur, blue fur, always nice color, a golden belt. He has like an iconic chain coming off with chainmails in blue, holding a medallion, symbolizing, I guess, his people. He has the power to control animals. I love these guards here. He looks real menacing, as you can see. Always did. Very, very wonderful. Now these figures stand at about, if I had to guess, 6.5 inch, maybe 7 inch almost in size. You know, like I said, you're only able to get them through a subscription. If you try to get them through eBay, they're pretty marked up and high priced. Now here is Beastman, the Filmation. Now, I gotta say that representation is impeccable. He looks really good. He has a really high volume orangey look to him. Like he's like almost like a neon orange. Same thing, more simplistic. Here's the medallion, but with no chainmail. Very soft on detail because, and then look, his arm, you know, what you call a bicep guards that he has with the horns. This one is only single as opposed to the double on the original, and his you know, wrist bracelet. They're all simplified, but he does have, you know, his whip, representation of his whip, and a Filmation shield that they used to use in the Filmation cartoon. It's a nice copper metallic with that sheen, almost like a sparkling. Again, the belt. Simplified, and then the difference again, boots. They were all represented with boots in the cartoon. this move so that you can pose, and they weren't. He didn't have his, his feet like what he is supposed to be a beast man. That's another reason why I always like the vintage style better. But I gotta say, I'm really liking these vintage ones based off the Filmation cartoon because the way they're being represented is amazing. Look, he even has you know uh, nail polish on his nails in black. He's really bright orange, neon orange almost. Like I said, you can't see it probably in the camera, but trust me when I'm telling you, he's very, very orangey, very orangey. You can move his head sideways, up and down. Very, very nice figure. And so we're gonna go next here. To last but certainly not least, we have Shrub Joe, Master of the Universe, and the Snake Mountain representation again. Like I said, now Trapjaw is very dramatic in color compared to the original toy. Most first and foremost, I never thought how it would look like on toy. I thought it would look kind of stupid, maybe because it's almost like a hot pink look, and compared to the toy of the original vintage. But I gotta say, I seen the final product, it actually looks really well. It looks very cartoony and very very cartoon accurate and very toy like, even though it has a collector's line feel. This is his cell from the animation right here. So let's move on, and I'll show him real quick. Let's look at him, and here's Shrub Joe. Look at his face. This is sculpt. Very nice. It still has the prong on top of his head. This was basically for toy play value. You would put a string and you can roll them with a piece of, needle string to have them zip down like a zip line from one place to another. That was a action feature that the toy had, and they've kept it even in the filmation. And his mouth opens and closes, as you can see. Plus his head moves individually and separately as well. And this is his weapon where basically his powers or his gimmick is that he can change to different weapons. This is like a blaster arrow. Here's his belt, his iconic belt. It's all green, but plain, same thing like his loincloth or groin cloth. It's very soft. It's like a hot pink, and his pads for his biceps, and then he has like these metal braces on his legs with the boots. Very nice colored. Here's the back. Very even has that little oval look here I don't know how it comes off on the back of his helmet. Very nice side profile. And to show you real quick, it pulls out of here like this, like that. And then these are the other two weapons that he has. He has a fly swatter, which is funny because he did have that in the cartoon. And then he has a gun, which is his blaster. So just for fun, let's put the fly swatter on. Just for fun. It snaps on, as you can see, you see? So now you see him with his fly swatter. It's pretty funny. Kind of stupid and silly if you ask me, to be honest. But it's funny because it's cartoon accurate. And it makes it feel more like a toy for kids, not just for adult collectors. So really nice. And this obviously is his vintage toy style that he has. You see the colors are drastically different. Now you're gonna notice that I colored his eyes all yellowed, and I only did that to make him look more menacing because he had little dots as well to indicate his eye pupils. But I did them all yellow because I thought he looked more menacing. As you see here, he has the thing. You see, he has the pin to zip line. His mouth open and closed. Inside his mouth, though, if you see, it looks more like he has flesh of skin inside. Very detailed face, highly detailed in his arms. He's very mechanical-like. Look at his belt. He has the symbol of skeleton with the moons, and you have these things here where you can hook him up, which doesn't come These are his extra pieces where you could put, like his claw, and this is his original blaster. The color detail and the attention to the paint apps is incredible. You see, you have all these little details here, all over the place in the back, very even on the shoulder, and all this is removable. So even the belt, everything, because you can, mix and match and make him look like Kronos, what he did before he became Trap Jaw, and that's part of the comic, which a lot of people that don't follow him and won't know. But yes, and his boots, whatever, and this is what his face looks like as Kronos, as a matter of fact. So if I wanted to switch it out, I could just pop the head out like this, like so, and then just pop his head in and do some other adjustments, obviously, in his body to make him look like Kronos, but just to give you an idea, and then that's what it looks like. You see? It's fully removable. Now, these figures don't come cheap. They're about $25, $30 each. With shipping and all that, and all said and done, it's almost like $37 each. But I started 7 years ago collecting them, the classics. I'm a big He-Man fan, always have been. I had the whole collection when I was younger, but unfortunately, my parents, they got into, religion. They kind of got rid of it, especially my father, my stepfather. So he got rid of it, and I lost my entire collection. I had every castle, every vehicle. They also have vehicles in this line as well. But if you want to look for any particular characters, you can definitely find them on eBay. Just as a character like this is popular, like Trap Jaw, more expensive. It's a lot more money because of the fact that he has a popularity value. So they hike up and mark up the prices extremely high. You know. So here you go. Again, like I said. So I hope you guys liked the video that I tried to bring to you. Like I said, these are great toy line that I started collecting. Like I said, back almost 7 years now. I'm trying to keep up with it. I have almost every character has been created almost to this point, which is a good thing. I just need a couple of vehicles. They're trying to do Snake Mountain, which will be a very hefty price piece. I think they're talking about 300, but it looks gorgeous. Again, thank you for joining me for another episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. I have a special one coming up soon too, or maybe I'll do it today or tomorrow. I'll post it up. It's going to be a San Diego Comic Con special. I'm going to try to do it with my daughter. We're going to review all the Comic Con toys that came out, or some of the exclusives that came out that we were interested in and were able to purchase, or lucky enough to purchase, because those pieces in particular are super pricey and very hard to come by. So I hope you enjoy it and look forward to that soon. That will be my episode 6 for Toys in My Closet. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Give me any feedback on anything that you might want to see me do differently, or that could help me out to expand and better my channel. So I appreciate it very much. I hope you like this episode. And again, I'm your host, Hebot. So, I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for joining me, and, good luck, and, love you guys. Be good. See you then.